So again, I didn't have much prep for this tournament. My opponent played e4, and I went c5, knight f3, knight c6. And thankfully this was one of the things I asked coach about. Unfortunately, the only thing I did was look at the first move, because what I have been playing is e6, and the exchange here I do not understand, like from either side. I'm not good enough. I don't understand the structure, and I'm not good enough. This is just, I don't get it. So I asked, like, what can I play instead that's gonna be like fine? And he's like, all right, let's go d6 and like bishop d7 and break the pin. And he put a whole study together, but I didn't look at it. I only focused on learning the yak attack, aka the Budapest with knight e4, because I was more worried about that, for being honest. So I unfortunately didn't see the main idea of this. So castles, bishop d7, c3, a6, this was all fine. Takes, rook e1. Okay, I guess it didn't matter here, maybe, part of it, but I think one of the ideas was... No, I'm supposed to go knight f6, and if this rook e1 happens, to tuck the bishop back, you go a6 now, and after bishop f1, you go bishop g4. And looking at this makes a lot of sense. But again, I didn't look at the bishop g4 idea. It happened in 2 of my games, and I didn't play it. So I ended up playing super passive the whole time. I went a6 now, sort of forcing this, and this is all fine. Rook e1 is fine. I went knight f6, and he went d4. And I thought for a long time here, because to me it looks like the e-pawn is hanging. I don't know if anyone agrees with me on that. Put an H in chat if you agree that the e-pawn is hanging, or if you don't, tell me why. Like, I spent quite a lot of time here because I also didn't look at his rating ahead of time. I didn't know what he was rated. I didn't know that he was a master. I don't, but I don't know why. Yeah, like, it feels like something that wouldn't happen. Apparently my opponent is still in theory and will be for a long time, which is just great. And he was playing really fast, so I was kind of guessing this. But I didn't want to metagame. I didn't want to just play c takes d4 and, like, something ugly, like e6 or e5, because I'm afraid he's gonna kill me. I couldn't figure out why I couldn't take, so I just took it, which is, yay, the best move. But apparently we're still in theory, and now I have to play, like, really well. Bishop g5. Threatening to kind of undermine the knight and, like, either kill me? You know, I can't really take this way so easily, and then if I take this way, where the king go? And this is all terrifying. So I came up with a novelty that my opponent liked here, and I did it on purpose. I knew it wasn't the best move, but I wanted to get him out of the theory, and so I did my best to look for a move that was good, that I was sure probably hadn't been played before. Which is sort of a skill. That's maybe one of my only skills, is the ability to be like, what would no human play here that's not losing? And so, I don't know. It's black to play and find a move that isn't bad. There's lots of good moves with the bishop, but you pretty much have to move the bishop. Otherwise, they're gonna take. Seems like a lot of work to play something that you think isn't theory. You know what's more work, though, is thinking 10 minutes every move to find, like, the only good move, theoretically. If you go too far into the line, and your opponent knows it every step of the way, you're just draining time, move after move, and your opponent's playing instantly, and they're not thinking, and they already have played the position before. You want to get them on, like, a level playing field here. It wasn't a bad move, actually, and my opponent liked it. So our candidate moves are bishop f5, bishop g6, bishop c6, bishop d5 is legal. Taking, I suppose, is legal, but it looks hideous. d5 has been played before, apparently. I was like, okay, I could go bishop g6, and then, I don't know, my opponent goes d5, and then I can't play g6. I wouldn't have been able to anyways, but, like, I can't go e6. My bishop is stuck. Like, I'm up a pawn, but this is so ugly. And I don't know what to do. Like, I guess I have to go queenside. But this is terrifying to me. I am not someone who's comfortable being up a pawn but having no activity. I would rather be down like 2 pawns and have a lot of activity than be up a pawn and be a little bit passive, which is bad. I need to work on that. And same thing, like bishop f5, d5, can't play e6 anymore. It's like I can't go g6 because the pawn's pinned. I can't go e6. He's just gonna like play c4 and clamp down on me. Could even play knight h4 sometimes. So I was like, instead of doing all this work trying to get like a holdable position, I was like, well, okay, I have no space, right? Why don't I just trade the pieces? Yeah, what about taking the knight on b1? Which is a move you normally would never play. Okay, it's not a novelty, but it hasn't been played since the 70s, apparently. Because now I don't have to worry about any of that, and I can just go e6, and I can play bishop e7. And I'm still up a pawn. You know? This feels real good. And after d5, I go e5 and I lock it up. And then I even have like a structure I'm familiar with, like, okay, my bishop's bad, but at least it's a bishop, you know, rather than just like a, you know, just nothing. So I went e6, he went d5, I went e5. And then he takes, oh no, he doesn't take. He plays b4. This is a good move. This makes sense. He's trying to, once again, undermine me in any way he can. So allowing this would probably not be so good, as opponent would get a passed pawn. Taking is also bad because then his rooks are just going to kill me. Or maybe even c4, something like that, and then take. So instead I just go c4. We're keeping it closed because my king is in the center. I kind of fix his pawns in a bit of a strange way. This d pawn could be a target. Now that it can't be supported by another pawn, it is now backward, and this is also backward. If I get b5 in a convenient way, then I'm pretty much golden. I am threatening to play bishop e7 next and castle, and with the closed position, I don't think I will have any problems. I can play b5, queen d7, queen b7, and attack this pawn. I could even play b5 and a5 and queen a5, and then pick up on the weaknesses. And the important thing is that I didn't get checkmated, which was, like, honestly what I was the most worried about. So opponent goes knight d2, threatening the c pawn. There are other, like, ah man, there was some stuff going on here. If I ignore, or if I defend this, there's f4 first of all. This was the other point of knight f3, just to get out of the way for the f pawn. Well, I'm gonna learn openings, and then you'll all be sorry. You'll see. But I was like, okay, like this, what has this all been about? Like giving up the bishop, playing this move. Like, I gotta keep it closed, but I need to castle. I want bishop e7 because after knight takes c4, yes, I've given up a pawn, but I'm gonna play b5 and fix the pawn structure once again. And I was already up a pawn. I would much rather be alive and it be equal. You know what I mean? So, and this was all the best way to play. I'm looking at the computer. I don't know if you've even looked at this at the computer yet. Bishop e7 is best. Castles is best. I also have rook c8 if I want to just regain the pawn, but I think I was afraid of... There was like something scary here. Some knight takes e5 and d6 stuff. I just remember there were things that were scaring me, so I just castled. I guess maybe if bishop f6, something. Anyways, now he takes on f6, bishop takes f6, queen d3, and after rook c8. Okay, like I gave my pawn back, but this is the greatest advantage that I've had so far. And it has to do with the pawns. This is a big target. I could be solid and go queen d7 and just defend the pawn and play this position slowly. I could go g6, bishop g7, f5, play in the center, something like this. I kind of don't want to play b5 as much anymore because I get the c4 square, but he gets the c6 square, which is arguably a much bigger deal because I won't even get a piece on c4. So I'm not gaining anything by b5 anymore. This should kind of stay where it is. But the knight is quite a nuisance here. Again, you know how I am. I don't really care about pawns. I just played e4 because this is sort of semi-thematic in Kalashnikov, I feel, to just get it. I don't want the pawn. I want the bishop to be alive. I'm attacking c3 currently, so it's not even a sacrifice. Of course, rook takes would be just hideous because of rook takes c3. And then I'm very happy with the pawn structure in this way and opening the position for the bishop. So he has to play queen takes e4. I go bishop takes c3, attacking the rook. He goes rook e3. And now I only have one good move here. This is still attacked, and it's going to come with tempi. It's kind of scary. I sort of need to play queen d7. I wanted to play... I think I wanted to play queen b6, but knight c4 I have no move, and I am losing. Like, I can't go queen d4 because of knight d6. So queen d7 is my only chance to defend the pawn. Queen c7 also doesn't work because of rook c1, and I lose the bishop. This is a very loose piece here on c3. It's attacked once, defended once. So we have to be careful, but I need to be solid here. Knight comes to c4 anyways. And obviously he's threatening to take my bishop. If I play a passive move like bishop f6, for example, now there's knight b6. Any move I move with the bishop b5, there's knight b6. And it looks really bad. But I have rook f to e8 with a threat on the queen. The queen goes to f4. I take on e3. He can't take with the queen because the knight hangs. So he has to play f takes e3. And my opponent said he missed this move. Like, we both saw all of this. This was all basically forced. And he said he just didn't see that I had rook d8 at the end, defending my d-pawn and defending the b6 threat. And black is actually just better now. And all of these moves were forced. You know, I had to... The thing is, I was struggling every single move. Like, I found the best move every move, but I was spending so much time and I was getting really tired. And I'm at a point where I'm, like... Sometimes... when I'm playing a chess game, at a certain point, I get tired and I want to go home and I stop caring as much, and it's really hard to continue that. And I think my biggest problem is that I'm absolutely incapable of finding good moves without thinking a long time, if that makes sense. Like, I'm terrible at blitz. It takes me a long time to just, like, not hang pieces. It must be just rusty, I guess, but... It's not sustainable for me to... I can play this way, if that makes sense, but not for a long period of time. Like, I run out of juice, and then I'm done. So, like, asking me to play this way for a whole game is difficult, but for a whole tournament, it's even worse. Okay, but now we have a position, again, where it's, like, semi-open-ish. Like, the bishop will be superior in this endgame, I think. His king is slightly more open now. I have some targets. I have, you know, potential to have a semi-open file after the knight gets kicked away. Opponent goes a4, looking for the counterplay. And I go b5, just shutting it down right away. I have to get this knight out of my face, or I won't be able to do anything. I can't just have my major pieces stuck defending a pawn. Like, that's just... I need to go do something. And also the e5 square would be lovely for the bishop. So a takes b5, a takes b5, knight comes to a5, and then the rook comes to e8. Because I'm no longer stuck babysitting the pawn, I can now start tickling the e3 pawn from multiple angles. And if he loses that, I don't know, he might lose. Knight comes to c6. And okay, this is pretty balanced. I don't think anyone can make a whole lot of progress here. I just play h6, shoring up my back rank for later, because I know how I am. Opponent plays queen f1. Okay, this move gives me a pawn. And I know I was very low on time at this point, maybe even under 5 minutes and playing on increment. Should I take the e-pawn or not? Like, what's the idea? No, so if a piece is attacked and defended an equal amount of times, that piece is loose. If a piece is attacked more times than it is defended, then it's hanging. So even if it's 1 defender, 1 attacker, it's loose. If it's 0 attackers, 0 defenders, it's loose. If it's 10 attackers, 10 defenders, it's still loose. But if it's 11 attackers, 10 defenders, it's hanging. If it's 0 defenders, 1 attackers, it's hanging. Okay, so we're saying rook takes e3, there's queen c1. Yeah, so he takes my b pawn, and then he has a pass pawn, and I'm scared. I should do this, and I should play queen g4, and like he's actually the one that needs to be very scared. But with no time left, I was like, I don't want to do that. I will just defend my pawn. And after queen d3, I then made a 1-move blunder and lost the game. Played pretty decent up until now, but then, you know, when you blunder like the whole game in 1 move, that doesn't matter how well you played, you lose. You gotta resign. I resigned on my next move. So I should play bishop f6, right? Defend the piece. But I was like, oh, I have a tactic. I can tactically defend this by playing queen b6, and they can't take on c3 because rook takes e3 wins the queen. What I failed to see was that the knight goes backward. So you can just go here.